these games, because as everyone has kind of pointed out, you're after a little bit of a mishap with the EG organization. But with Evil Geniuses, you can see players returning to their home. You can see danss and Brehze both coming back to what was familiar territory once before, but now hopefully with autimatic and the rest also rejoining each other. This is where they can actually do their best stuff, and this is where they're going to have to do it. We're playing on Mirage in the first best of 2. Best of 1.
So far, from us, it's all bark, yet we need to see some bite out of NRG. It has been inconsistent with the results as much as I talked them up, but now we're going to see something aggressive to kick us off. Whether they go through the apartments or not isn't really the ordeal here. Finally, the jiggle taken.
Danss.
And apparently danss is here. I thought so. Okay, now a lot of this is out the window. Maybe there is a brawl to be had here. autimatic looking to get out a window, only damage on Nifty. So it's still a 5v4 in Might's favor.
Talk about the aggression. It was the CT aggression more than anything else. And Brehze actually meeting his maker on a pretty cool read, I have to say, from Might to be able to play for that fight. Yeah. Not exactly playing it passively. danss is right out in the middle of the open, wide stance for that fight to come his way, and he wins it out, but autimatic gonna pull one back. The caller and captain now of Might put down into the ground as he now has to spectate from the heavens above.
And there's 2 here to defend. OC and HexT isn't enough as they jump out into the welcoming arms. OC a little too long, but still comes away with 1. Starts to lighten the horde just a little bit. HexT behind the pillar. And now that he's been spotted, all hell starts to break loose. Sting through the box, but it's nowhere near enough. And OC isolated means that's a free bomb site. autimatic and Walco both split up, dual destinies, but they'll soon combine in fate. Seemingly, the afterlife. DJ's gone straight into market to take care of Walco, too. autimatic, the one thing you said, he keeps his head calm in these situations. Now's his time to show it. There is a kit on the ground, but the double swing is too much to beat. And with a Snake's 2K to kick us off, Might come out strong.
Such a difficult way to make your way back into a round with all 3 players knowing of your location. Needed someone to be able to find something from one of the extremities beyond him, but stuck around that pillar. It was never going to be an easy feat for autimatic, as he does get the 1 kill, the first for the CTs in the round. He will be the last to fall, and Might, good opening for them on the T side of here. Mirage, it's SMGs for Nifty and Scar to build up some of that cash, but it's a force back from NRG and a scout for OC. We're going to have to see how much impact he's going to actually be able to have, as an interesting position for the Deagle comes under the balcony for Walco, maybe just playing a 1-2 bait setup.
The stacks will work out. But I don't know. As much as I'd like to give him props for that smoke, there's not really much to it. A lot of utility's been burned, sure, but there is still so much left for Might that they can literally wait out this ramp smoke, even with an extra setup, still have a utility advantage and be fine. But they're repositioning, and this is where I think things get a little more interesting. That one little iffy as they try to set up Walco, hoping somebody walks through the smoke, but no dice. Now it's back to the drawing board, and instead of having a counter smoke or a counter flash, it's just the guns on your back.
They even still, they haven't wavered from it. The bomb is making its way closer and closer. They want to find this space back. In a few moments, they might actually be in for a rude awakening. Walco actually going in for the jiggle. Scar will spot that. Are they going to change their pace now, though, as they have to either speed up or find something? It'll be Scar does re-engage as Walco does the same. He'll fall on the other side, and this is a much more susceptible A site. The defenses are split 2-2. Nifty's just selling the fake over towards B. He hasn't pulled a rotation, but it will in just a moment, as now he falls out. Site keeps 2 players still standing strong. 1 tucked down low, default box. Low already was HexT. It's going to be a hard ask as the flick from DJ does come through. He's even able to readjust onto the one he'd spotted first. Anything more than this for NRG is going to be a consolation prize. It's already forced from this round. An AK-47 save might be the best that they can get.
I mean, yeah, this is technically 3 guns in the following. You kind of trade out 2 pistols for an AK in that sense. I think this round goes downhill because of a little overzealousness from NRG. There were a lot of ways this could have been a bit better. Walco committing to the fight in ramp, a little iffy, right? With the time running as low as it was, they had 43 seconds, and Might had no ramp control. Like, yeah, they had a utility advantage, but you stall them out just a little bit. They have nothing else left after those smokes fade. Walco, instead of committing to that fight, if he just sits in ramp and waits for them to throw the smokes, now there's a little more emphasis put on it. But beyond that, when it's a 4-on-5, the only way NRG was contending in this round is if HexT hit a baller shot from 4 HP, crouched in default. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pipe dream. This AK-47 is managed to be brought over into the next, so maybe at least damage to be done from this one is next, where they're going to be able to do their best work. See how Might opt to use the SMG they still have saved and how they look to buy around it. They should have an idea as to what money of NRG is looking like, and wisely so, they put another MAC 10 into the hands of Snakes. Too quick, but quick enough to be able to get in towards the ramp and maybe send himself out with some utility from the spawn bomb on the back of DJ, who just sets them up for maybe a pick or two with the early flashes to pop. OC spawns nothing, and will soon be stricken of all vision unless he goes wide, as he does. No one on the other end. Patient as ever. Not a lot of bodies here in comparison to that last, and as autimatic was siphoned off by that smoke towards jungle side, OC's kind of out on a new island, and as he realizes that, falls deeper into CT spawn, and now as the hit comes through, they made the right call at the right time. Might a great read into the last, and an even better one into this. Unless OC pulls out some magic with that scout, I don't foresee there being any chance.
I mean, there was a world this could have gotten deadly. This could have gotten dangerous, but the flank is just a little bit too late, and Brehze, that's the only gun down. Walco tried to pick up the AK, and does finish the food eventually left up for him, but as tasty as it is, it doesn't taste like a one round. So far, it's just damage. And it is just a lot of bark, yet no bite right now from NRG.
Yeah.
Miter kind of running over them. And it feels like there's a couple of questionable overextensions we're seeing out of NRG. Whereas this round, yeah, might get into a site with only 3 defending it. And yeah, there's not really much of a crossfire. But they wasted almost all of their smokes. There, again, would have been near nothing for after the execution. And NRG didn't really keep that in mind too much, it seems.
Listen, I'll call this round for what it is, a success in the essence of what NRG were actually looking for. They get these 2 kills, autimatic goes down awkwardly enough, but even still, an AK and a Galil, definitely decent investments considering what you put forth into this one. You retrieve a gun that you already had pulled through and you keep another one. This is going to be at least some sort of a lifeline for them to be able to get the AWP and not have to sacrifice utility from anybody else. So as this 3rd round does go down for Might, for NRG, this is where they get hot to trot. This is where they can actually delay the side of Might and gain the information, because as you've seen in these last couple of rounds, Might are perfectly content with playing those first 40 seconds kind of slow, but they're already gearing up towards a bomb site hit in those first 40 seconds while they're waiting for anything else to happen around the map. They don't really have to reroute to any other point. There's no second guessing in the play, and this round's going to be no different. Anthem, they're already geared up towards a B-pop. They've got 1 player at the bottom of the A ramp, so as soon as someone makes contact, whether it be the player at the top side of B or the player at the bottom side of A main, that's where they're going to make their pop happen. And it might happen in the same time frame that it has previous.
This counter utility just feels like a panic from Brehze. Puts all the problems on the Hex. The only one utility on this B side, but it works out for now. 2 kills, and danss is the only trade. Now OC's come through, and in the nick of time, even when things looked worrying, NRG had picked things back up. Bomb, instant reroute, gets away from trouble, and they've at least got mid to go back to if they'd like. Wait, is Walco in underpass? Well, they know about this, and this is an isolated entity. This could be a kill back from Nifty, but dinks him through the box. 1 HP, and while he takes Walco with him, it's a big prong to lose.
I don't know if you saw that, but in the middle of that round, when they were actually falling back out of the apartments, DJ was tagged by OC's op through the wood after killing a player into the apartments. As he migrates back to mid, once again, he'll be able to have his impact made heard into this round, finishing the job, as this is going to be a pretty big round from him with the unconfirmed damage finished off and they're first on the board. It's a really fast rotation towards that B bomb site where otherwise, as you mentioned, the utility maybe a little bit scattered, maybe a little bit spammed, but luckily enough for Brehze, it's kind of disjointed from Might at the same point where HexT is able to find his over from Catwalk. They're able to collapse onto that bomb site. Anything even gets the chance to get started.
It just feels like a lot of the time, NRG are playing without any control or idea of what's really going on in app, so they're leaving themselves super susceptible to being faked on, which has now happened almost every one of these rounds, where Might have thrown an initial set of utility, they've backed away, NRG have dumped almost all of their counter nades, and Might are essentially execing into a site with no defense brought up to it. Look, already, 2 smokes used up from NRG, even though one of them is pretty basic.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. The utility from Might right now does kind of force them into playing more of a split passive off of mid default because they can't afford to take that control and not instantly snap onto a site. And with no kills, with the AWP into the hands of OC, obviously for the same for Nifty, but more than anything else, it's a post plant they can't really afford to play out with using mid utility. So, with that, waiting, hoping to find a pick after they gain this control.
They have 1 smoke.
And by the virtue of NRG using their utility more than anything else, it's going to be a nice little split towards that A site, I foresee.
Again, this is hard. There's like almost no counter utility to go for them beyond, the couple of flashes for repeaks. But that's if you get that far.
Ooh.
Like this boost, though. HexT may get free
Love
vision onto the bottom of underpass. Oh, head wasn't seen. Scar gets away with one there, but honestly, it could be for the better. False security. HexT swings back up and doubles down due to his patience. With a second on catwalk, Brehze decides to take matters into his own hands, but instead gives them a chance back in. Danss on half HP as Nifty tries to move around Palace, spots out 2 separate entities on A, and now there's a lot on the board for them. There goes the op, though, and the round may just fall with it. I think they've heard this boost. autimatic is well aware of the avenues he can go, so this should be under lock and key. Now, the only way you're getting in is if you sneak to B, and OC, well, he won't let that happen.
Yeah, that's a score once again. Slam dunk of a round. HexT boosted up on top. A little bit hairy there as all 3 players at the bottom side of mid were staring him down as he's able to find the high HP player. There's only 1 bullet onto the transition needed on as a stray. It's never going to be all too difficult for him. Seasoned enough online to where the nerves shouldn't be a factor, and controlling that one, needing really to find one for sure. Playing up is just all the more sweet. OC not really yet to be tested in any of these late rounds, which is a threat for me for Might. Yeah, it's going to be something that they're going to need to be worried about on some of these late round retakes and post plants, as OC now just awaits them to actually pop their way out somewhere in mid. It's just pistols. It's 3 Glocks, 2 Deegs, no utility, and no armor. Anthran, at this point, you may as well just be hitting them with pea shooters unless we can see something spectacular from the hand cannons.
Automatic. Given the first isolation, and now everything starts to swing out for mid, you'd be lucky to come away with a kill, let alone more than 50 damage. And Scar seems to be a little behind the mold as he's still waiting in the back of underpass, hoping autimatic will walk into him. However, unfortunately, he couldn't be more wrong. Full house between he and HexT. And NRG get this show on the road. Tied up as we enter 7th.
Bro ace.
Is that what that's called now?
Yeah, it's the bro ace. All 5 kills between 2 people.
Right,
you wouldn't know. Sure. You have no bros, and you also don't get 5 kills between you and anyone else.
That's just mean.
Yep.
Like, damn.
No up for Nifty. Really been all too loud into this matchup as of right now, so maybe favoring the utility more than anything else is what the doctor ordered, as Walco will take down one blinded refrag by danss, who still stands with full HP. AK-47 is going to be the biggest worry wart for them in the beginning of this round, though. OC is not done just yet. Crawls out through the catwalk alone and claims the life of Scar to bring it back to a man up.
Can we talk about how mobile he's been in the early part of this game? We've seen him pretty much everywhere, from like jungle to CT to mid last round to now being on catwalk. I mean, this is keeping Might on their toes. They have no idea where they can go to get away from this OC op, and you can tell as soon as the op was brought out where the heads are at for NRG, what the game plan is intended to be. Anonymity, and it's working.
Said danss 7-3 right now is putting his best foot forwards on some of these refrags as well as some of the entry kills as autimatic takes liberty to actually walk through a ramp a man up. That takes some nuts, man.
Do they know?
Got him. They seem to. Nifty coming out on top of that duel. Heads up. In T-spawn. Bomb on his shoulders. That was make or break for the round. And maybe exactly the avenue that they needed to take to drive their way into an A site. As Snakes has already cleared out jungle, it's OC's off that's given them so much trouble so many times before, burning alive, and the CT spawn softened up. A bomb plant should more likely than not be for free.
Oh, and they spam through it! No, it doesn't! It doesn't come through! There's no way HexT picked that up! There's just no shot! Dude, it's not only spamming through the wood wall from CT spawn, but it's the fact that he steps into a molly to do it. Like, both he and OC have their set rolls. The thing is, OC from that spot didn't even shoot through the box. Instead, when both of them sprinted into a molly, they set up a crossfire. He aimed on Palace.
I don't know, man. Something.
That's insane.
And 3, as of right now, is all they get. Might. Not the same healthy team that we had seen in the first 3 rounds. The utility in their gun round they had lost out was kind of just diminished almost instantaneously. Now in this next full buy that they have, they're going to need to really set the pace for the round, whether it be an extremely quick one or one that takes a lot longer with less liberties taken in the early stages. These 4-1s and the early round pops really be read by an NRG squad that's starting to hit their shots at the same time, and they don't wait. They don't wait whatsoever. 40, 50 seconds off of this clock, they're tired of actually waiting for your play to be made. They get this mid control, nobody top, nobody peeking through the bottom, and now they've got a really easy guessing game to play from. It's A or it's B, and with the time being where it is, they've got more than enough delay utility to keep them at bay.
Right, that's why I like that molly.
Oh, Shadow.
Essentially, you get yourselves time. Oh, now you know it's going to be a hit, but that's a big miss from OC. Allows them to start moving back in. Yes, it split up the palace pop for a second, but now the only thing he can do is throw supportive flashes from behind that smoke. Walco steps out, gets the one, but even blind. Trade is in, and now they have a gun to try and help their cause into CT. They look to go, lining up as Spray comes in, and 3 go out. Brehze. Call upon him, and he answers. Now Nifty has to answer back in a 1-on-3 with 11 health. Yes, he knows everybody's in jungle, but when they all come sprinting in, there will be no holds barred. First couple of shots missed, and that's his fate sealed for sure. Not a tag on the remaining. NRG, I think that's like a statement round, even after they go 1-for-1, even after one of the people who's not usually stepping up in rounds like Walco falls. It's no sweat, really. They just walk back in and dominate.
What was a half buy? And with 2 kills and $800 into your pocket for the plant. Pretty good Brown from Mike. Obviously not expecting to win it all out, but in the position that they were in, there was a real possibility that they could have. Brehze bringing it back from the brink. Nice lineup from him, holding down mouse 1. Presence of mind, a real... that not their ARG placement to be able to line up a multi-frag, and as he does... He now a very fast mid taking Gosi. Is he gonna be caught off guard? No, head removed from danss. Nice try. Sightline removed as his head is just as well.
And the shots rattle off everywhere, but nobody can seem to get hold of the situation for Might. Utility thrown frantically as they try to gain some semblance of control in this round, but NRG are just sitting back. Singing payphone behind the smokes. Flash comes in and autimatic thanks his bro for it.
Bro.
Hey, I mean, he's the bro ace, or the other one that got the bro ace with him, so. Had to drop a sneak diss. Ooh, I love this. Russian. Oh, and Nifty's going to be completely trained on this player in top con. This is a free 2K for him. That's insane. What a bait from NRG.
Snakes and DJ, all that's left. Teammates lie on the floor across all of mid. From the top to the bottom to Cat. Nobody successful in their endeavor to claim land. And Snakes none the more. Isaiah Ramp lets the bomb move. DJ undetected for the time being, but what does it really matter when everybody else is quick to realize that there's only so many other places that they could be with the bomb in that position. Double the round count and not letting a single thing slip after the guns come out. NRG, this is a look that we love to see, and who else but autimatic on top of the 3KD?
Dude, like, look at the money right now. It's crazy. When was the last time OC fell? Like, that's what we need to start realizing. There's so much being built up and established. Like, they're buying for the rest of the half, and nobody wants to go against 3 full-fledged, well-thought-out CT buys in a row, but might now have to swallow that pride, and they don't even have a lot to do it with. You can already see signs of wear in the first 2 buys.
Timeout. It's going to be a sign of the times. Might really. Theirs starting to run out. This half, not a map. Typically, you'll see CTs run away with all too much more than maybe 2 rounds at the advantage, 7-5. Anything more in your grip. AK's on a few. More importantly than anything else, danss. Up with not a whole lot to be contested with. He gets free range of this map from here on out. Do as he pleases. His danss is softened up. Smoke blown, shoulder spotted, and autimatic does not let that one fall uncapitalized upon. Heaviest hitter dispatched of very early on in this round, leaving them with no other option but to pop out into A, where OC and Walco lie in wait. The pressure is on, but not for NRG. It's on Mike to be able to pull away with a multi-frag.
Is Nifty gonna go through this? It looked like for a second he was, Walco.
Kissing him on the cheek.
Yep, oh, they definitely know. They spam each other down, but the AK wins. Galil falling, and they know this is gonna be an A take. You've got to commit to this at this point. 31 health, and Walco's still finding kills. Trades come in, but
Oh.
not well enough, or maybe they do, because the remaining two completely isolated and have to come all the way around the world to defend this A-site bomb. Still isn't down, so there's that, and HexT has just caught wind of both remaining players, buying further time for Brehze. And there's that last molly. Utility's gone, and they're planting right for him. Flash thrown to distract even further. They both line up, and the spray is missed. So HexT has a little more work on his plate as the nade goes deep. It's not good enough. Snakes 1 HP, and HexT locks it down. A round that comes way closer than NRG had bargained for, but a 1-1 nonetheless.
Uncharacteristically so, you'll see autimatic actually over-peek from the top side of the stairs there with no teammates in position to be able to capitalize, not awaiting the flank, and also not awaiting HexT to be able to arrive onto the scene from the rotate from B. It is something that kind of leaves them a little bit hard-pressed, but thankfully for them, the bomb plant doesn't go down instantaneously, and Brehze is offered enough to get to the back lines. The spray nearly finishing off the job onto the both of them, but one will do, and a round win will do even better, as they're still in a very strong stance for not only this round, but this map. Despite are pretty much on buyout until the end of the game from this point, with the loss bonus reaching the point that it has.
Oh, and they even boost up OC. I literally told you, dude, this guy has been everywhere on the map. And while Yes might have just gotten the first kill, I almost promise you this is just going to be stolen back away. No smoke in the apartments might raise suspicion, but why the hell would you ever expect OC here? Trade comes in, he doesn't get back through. And Snakes has eased their worries a little bit more. One of the biggest prongs of this team is now gone, and might they have the red carpet rolled out for them going into B, but not before Brehze says something. A kill back with damage. Things are looking good for NRG, even on the B exact. Nade goes in. Do they know DJ got out? They don't. Peak is back, and HexT catches it the wrong way. Walco's on 7 health. They don't really have a lot to deal with this. But he eases their nerves for now. So many different angles of approach for danss. You can see the paranoia on these remaining players.
I love the 1-2 positioning of the players, both at the back of the bench and the back of the site, as danss isn't done just yet. Brehze,
No.
a really solid spray in the back of the site with Walco by his side. Those two able to put together a majority of the kills in the round thus far, but it'll be the former to have to close it out as danss, a monster yet to be unleashed, really. Not given the opportunity to be put into these sorts of situations as the bomb is still on the floor. It's Brehze who guards it on an off angle deep towards Catwalk. danss with the read of a lifetime to be able to hit the shot. Headshot required.
Dude.
Brehze catches him off guard with his pants down, but nothing to be done with danss as laser accurate as this. 20 seconds, no problem, no plant. Nonetheless, it is going to be an AWP retrieved and a danss clutch finally allowed to play this game the way that he needs to.
That's insane. That was like, it's not just the fact that it's a 1v1 converted by danss. It's how almost every law of a duel in this game was against him. He didn't have the angle advantage. He wasn't looking out of his right eye when he went in for the peek. He walked into the angle. Like, Brehze did everything right, but still lost it. That's just how good danss is, man.
Effectively, yeah. I mean, dude's a beast sometimes. You just gotta kind of deal with it when it's on the other side of the server. He has gotten that little bit of kickstart to the engine. It's been somewhat quiet, revving up. Majority of these rounds, not given the opportunity to miss flash. NACS, lol. Hope that won't come back to bite him, as now he is absolutely devoid of any utility, and his player towards Catwalk is nearly just as so, as Nachi is all that they'll have split between the two of them, but it is not yet decided, as there is still 2 players towards the apartment side and 2 towards under. They could really go anywhere they so please at this point in time. It's the bomb leaning towards B right now that gives me the thought that they're just going to end it towards that direction, as they have no smokes for A, only 2 mollies and a flash. This could be what the doctor ordered.
Whoa, but that's a big kill from autimatic to kick things off. Unscathed, no scratches on him, leader gone. He'll have to win this one from the sidelines as they don't clear HexT. Things are getting worse. They haven't even made it out of the apartments yet, and they've lost 2 casualties. Brehze tucked in jail, still not a tag on them. Finally that changes, but it seems all too late. Nade could finish it, but it's nowhere near DJ. Instead, he'll have to take matters into his own hands with the gun and everything. 3 kills in the closer for HexT and an 8-4 closer for NRG. Well, NRG, they've looked good to close out the first half, and it looks like they're going to look good in the beginning of the second. Can't even get my words out before Brehze one taps Nifty, and they'll be working from the back foot in the second pistol.
That first wasn't exactly what NRG were looking for. This one looking a little bit more fruitful, seeing as they actually get into this say quick and easy 2 towards CT bait setup for a player tucked into the side scar, actually spotted by the jump over, and now they need to plant this bomb more than anything else, but more space to be taken, more fights to be had as a 360 from autimatic. He's nothing but a bullet to the face. HexT is no better, but Brehze on the back lines just dance with his pants down.
They'll have 2 to take care of, but now the job should be a lot easier, even with the dualies. Walco just cleans house. A triple from him, and a 9 from NRG starts to lead this game in the direction initially expected. Without the pistol, I think the task at hand gets even more difficult for Might.
Yeah.
No way you buy here. Like, I think this is just a guaranteed save.
Likely than not. You'd be surprised in the current Counter-Strike 2 meta about how often people do that. And honestly, this far down, I would. I honestly would have. I really don't think that there's a whole lot that you can do from a 10-4 score with utility being to the minimum following this one from Might unless they're able to get some kills.
Right.
It's always going to be a question just how close you can get with the guns that you find into the following. How much information you can gain with a couple of flashbangs here and there, but DJ Hurd jumping inside of the window as is expected. Case autimatic just playing it for him to peek wide, baiting him in. It seems pretty obvious as to what DJ might be doing, trying to get them to come that way. Hasn't succeeded in doing anything except for making them stagnate for a second, though, for Might to make the play into their hands. That window smoke, now they can start to make their choice.
Well, they're showing a lot of respect to this, which I do kind of like from NRG. As there's not going to be anything left to stop them when they're ready to go in, and 2 players turned away. Is good night, sweet prince to the 14th round. Even though there wasn't much of a chance to begin with for Might, I think. If there was, it's surely gone now, so.
Wow.
Quick and easy, 10-4. Now we get to the nitty-gritty, where I honestly think if Might dropped the ball here, you're kind of looking at the second map if you want any shot at redemption.
Yeah, and I want to touch on the point that you made in the pre-show, actually, very quickly, and the fact that we haven't often actually seen the same map played 2 times in the sets of the best of ones. Back in the day, back in the day of ECS, I think I might have talked about it with you already, that was something you would see as commonplace all the time in North American and European Counter-Strike. You would be seeing cash back-to-back, train back-to-back, non-stop. Right now, I'd actually be curious to see a second map of Mirage. That's something I think the teams are honestly kind of scared of, and maybe for good reason. Maybe they actually get into their heads a little bit more than anything else. I'm curious to find out whether or not that will be the case, though, because they haven't really gotten themselves or their feet really wet into this game at all. Might more likely than not, more often than not, shut down in these opening rounds. We'll see if this is going to be any different as they do get towards the site. The flash is good, but the shot is better from the bottom side of the catwalk. Danss helping out with some damage, and DJ, he might be lost to the fray from the molly, but after that, I'm not sure what OC can really do here alone.
And he's got the bomb. There's no way you're getting out of this live. He just has to wait for his teammates to come through the smoke. If he goes to take this fight, I don't feel like it's a... What? He's only on 67 health. He's been tagged twice. This was a dead-in-the-water round that's just turned back in the favor of NRG. I thought the whole idea, delay for autimatic to come back into the apartments, but no, it's the opposite. It's Walco up Cat who gets a free frag and puts them back into a 3-on-2. Now another extension comes in. Now all hell's breaking loose, and Mike can't get there right from their left. Snakes. A 1-on-2 as he deals with the first. Only 1 tag on him. So it's all up to OC, the original man who put this round in contention, left with everything to do, and apparently not enough resource available to him to do it.
That felt like a fever dream of a round, to be honest. From the beginnings of the obviously, it felt like it was NRG who were on the back foot. Danss has OC locked in, but is it that, or is it OC who has him locked in? As there's nobody really else able to flush him out just yet. If Danss goes down, it's a much more awkward affair for the player just rotating into the site, and Walco is perfectly placed to stab him into the back. After that, 3v1. You think NRG has that one under lock and key, but kind of just disjointed on where they want to hold and where they want to play from. Bomb not even planted in the majority of that one. I'm not really sure how you expect to play out a round like that without a post plant, but as they take their 1v1s individually, finding out where the player is playing from, it's the left and the right side of the window that they're unable to really lock down where they want to take the fight. It'll be their undoing. Snakes, a massive round to win, but the money by no stretch of the imagination of the Snake's Den. It's 10-5. They find themselves with 2 MP9s, and Scar 2 and 13. Haven't even noticed that.
Well, they're going to have to figure something out quick, because, well, they do still have time now. If this round goes haywire, then that's pretty much it. And then Scar stuck in the corner. Good way to get out. And that MP9 will live to fight another day. His utility is thrown in mid. Really no rebuttal for Might. And I kind of like this, right? Instead of just, dumping a counter smoke instantly, instead of dumping a molly, let's save it. Eventually in a round like this, you kind of know you're going to have to give up control, and they're going to respect you. They've already shown it. Flash to get up Cat. The molly to delay in Con. Try to keep them quarantined in mid as long as possible. Make them uncomfortable when they go for this execute. But autimatic, even when it seemed uncomfortable, he's looked nothing more than the opposite. Smoke comes in. Nifty threw it. Good flash, but not good kill. Trade's got to come through from Brehze, and it leaves this round all the more vacant.
Blind control on that spray from Nifty is something to behold. autimatic feels like that one's dead to rights for him, as not only does he bait out the shot, catches him blind from the flashbang from a teammate. Man up. Walco, captain, kills Scar, who hasn't been having the greatest go at it, as dances onto the back lines. He's really going to go linchpin into this round if he's shut down. The rest of the ways back into the site become a lot more constrained than anything else. He just plays around the bottom side of it, baits out the shot, and finds the info that he needs to be able to actually slide back out, as there's surely no other player towards a mid eye, and he's done all that he's had to, and is able to even find another kill on top and damage HexT the entirety of this round and maybe this game, as they have no money left into the bin. Do they full save, or do they go with something to try and play against 12-5 into the next? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I think you've got to get an op out, right? That's number one. We saw how troublesome the CT side for NRG was when they had to work with, some mediocre buys, some shoe-in weapons, some hastily thrown together buys. Now I think it's the time because you have that little bit of bonus cash on players like Nifty. You can get an op out in the following round thanks to his kill. You can get some utility on the board. And you got to play to your strengths in the following, right? Like, you either get a greasy buy here. It's not probably going to work. NRG have shown they're really not going to be losing to it.
danss just has a single smoke.
What do they got up their sleeve?
I'm not sure what he's trying to
on B,
accomplish.
so I think the idea is bait them into an A stack. Maybe. But then they don't have an A stack going, so.
Not a terrible read. I just feel like it's kind of a little bit unnecessary. But
yeah,
to each their own. The call was some sort of intention, as the dink is exchanged between Snakes and autimatic. It'll be the latter to come out on top pretty easily so as well. Not really struggling in any of these duels despite being on such low HP. It's kind of going to be a run through from then on. They come towards that B site. The smoke not going to dissuade them. Scar left now to maybe find autimatic, aka at top of mid. He's going to go in for that late duel, but the engagement will more likely than not amount to nothing for them. This has been an extraordinarily strong start from what was a 3-0 beginning, one that you were chalking up to a really strong looking Might in closing out not only the pistol round, but the anti-eco looking pretty clean in the following. Just as much, but it's really been a little bit awkward from then on. Since that point forward, it's been just a little bit of this from danss, a little bit of that from Snakes, but not really a whole hell of a lot from Might as an entire whole.
I agree. And this is a little bit of what I expected. It just feels like there's a lot missing. Like, they haven't gone toe-to-toe. A lot of these aim duels are just being lost outright. And sure, there's been a lot of good setups from NRG, but at the same time, you remember the end of that second half, a lot of it was just them taking proactive aim duels and winning. Where even in the beginning couple of rounds, Might had looked to shut that down. I don't know what exactly changed from NRG's game plan, but whatever it was, they never let go, and I don't think that's going to change for the remainder of this game. It'll be an all-out brawl in mid, which so far they're not doing so hot in. Scar falls early, and it seems for now you still had danss committing off catwalk. There is a smoke blocking the vision of autimatic. No, he somehow got into ladder, but I don't know if that's a great idea. He is completely isolated from the pack here, and this is guaranteed going to be cleared. Thank gas. Seen out, please. Doubles back, and they trap Nifty on the bomb site with the biggest weapon of the round, which only amasses one measly kill. autimatic, even here, looking for any semblance of control. He was spotted backside, definitely detected, so DJ gonna sit outside the murder hole, and Automatic's gonna have no view to hit him. Yeah, free kill comes through, but now you know where both the remaining players are. So all eyes pressed on Marcus the Flesh. Actually, I don't think it missed, but it was a weird looking one for sure.
Ready. Is he not able to hit the tight shot? Not the biggest of deals, though. He's got a player to hold his cross as they out the both of them looking to take their duels individually. Good crossfire set between the two of them, and now as OC has been made known, the frag is found, and Brehze made just as much. On the other side of missiles, we've seen his ace clutch before, but not now, not today. A Brehze 3K and a 13-5 result as the map of Mirage goes the way of NRG.
This is kind of what we were hinting out of the pregame, I feel like, with the way we were talking, with how our sentences were formed and such. This was going to be an uphill battle from Mike. Even a blowout was kind of on the cards, honestly. I think, like, we talked about how good...